Hi everybody, Dr. Nigro here with the next in our series of Chem Calc videos for stoichiometry problems. As we mentioned in the last video, stoichiometry is a form of dimensional analysis problem. We've done these problems previously with our metric prefix conversions or our molar conversions for single entities. Stoichiometry is a little bit different because here you need a reaction, right? And our conversion is going to be between components within that reaction. Right, all stoichiometry problems are going to have a common step, the mole ratio step, that requires our coefficients, which means we got to have a balanced chemical reaction. All right, for this problem, we're going to use the same reaction that we used in the previous video. Magnesium plus hydrochloric acid forms magnesium chloride and hydrogen gas. All right, so we slide down to problem number 2. All right, how many grams of hydrochloric acid are needed to produce 2.38 moles of magnesium chloride? All right, so similar to before, I like to write out a plan. So I start with my 2.38 moles of MgCl2, and I'm trying to convert that to grams of hydrochloric acid. All right, so I ask myself, is there a way to convert between moles of MgCl2 and grams of hydrochloric acid? And the answer to that is no. All right, I can't use molar mass here because I've got moles of one entity and a mass for grams of another. So the first step is going to be to take the moles of MgCl2 and convert those to moles of hydrochloric acid. All right, I can do that with my mole ratio step. All right, once I have moles of hydrochloric acid, now then I can convert to grams, and that will be the molar mass of HCl, which is similar to what we did back in our first unit. All right, so with my plan in place, all right, I'm going to set up my problem starting with what I've been given. So 2.38 moles of MgCl2. All right, and you'll notice I add or I keep the chemical entity in my problem. Right, this is because it helps you keep track of what's canceling. All right, so for my mole ratio step, I'm going to put moles of MgCl2 on the bottom of my conversion factor so that it will cancel, and moles of hydrochloric acid, HCl, up top. So I go check that balanced chemical reaction, and I see that for every 1 mole of MgCl2, I need 2 moles of HCl. And that's going to let me cancel those moles of MgCl2 and leave me with moles of HCl. All right, but the problem wants grams, so I need one more step. So again, unit conversion tells me I need moles of HCl on the bottom, and this time I'm trying to go to grams of HCl. So I'm going to put that up top. All right, and I need the molar mass. So I go pull out my periodic table, and I look at the molar mass of hydrogen and chlorine. I add them together, and I find that 1 mole of hydrochloric acid has a mass of 36.46 grams. So it's going to let me cancel those moles of HCl, and I'm going to be left with grams of hydrochloric acid. All right, so now I take my calculator, I multiply everything out, and what I find is that I have 173.6 grams of hydrochloric acid needed to produce 2.38 moles of that magnesium chloride. So this is my answer. All right, now if we go back and look, this step is our mole ratio step. All right, and again, we needed those coefficients from that balanced chemical reaction. This step is a molar mass step. And for that, we needed the periodic table. All right, so make sure you have your periodic table handy when you're working these problems. All right, because we had grams and moles, instead of being one step like we saw before, this is a 2-step problem. All right, so come back for the third video and we'll look at the conversion from grams of one substance to grams of something else.